So parabolas can open up or down. When do they open up?
What is negative positive?
So if A is bigger than 0, aka positive, and if A is less than 0 and it's negative, it opens down. On this one, A is equal to 1, so then it opens up. Thompson.
Can A not be a negative though?
Well, but from the original problem. So if it is a negative, then what are we going to have to do? We have to take out a GCF, okay? Which is fine, but for this, you're looking at the original. So on the original, A is 1. If A was negative 1, it's going to open down. So for this one, the graph is going to look like this. So then maximum or minimum, if a parabola is opening up, do you think it has a maximum or a minimum?
Maximum.
It has a minimum, it has a low point. Whereas if it opens down, it has a high point, okay? So if it opens up, it would have a minimum.
Because it goes like infinitely down or up.
So it's like this.
So does it have a low point or does it have a high point, basically? So if it's opening up, it has a low point, it has a minimum. If it opens down, it has a high point, so it has a maximum. That's all it's asking you.
Wait. If it's always up, would it always be minimum?
Yes, and down always is maximum. Yep. All right, intercept form is factored form, so we just have to factor it. So we're going to take x squared plus 2x minus 8 and put it in factored form. Which numbers do you break down? The 8 breaks down. So what would 8 break down into?
2 and 4.
2 and 4, 1 and 8, and then the x you break down.
When and what?
So it'd be 1x and 1x.
Wait, but like, don't you just like find the greatest common factor though?
But this one doesn't have one because it's 1 and 2 and negative 8. If it did have one though, you're right, you'd have to do that first. Yes. And if you can't factor, you can't do any of this problem. So we really need to make sure, that's why we spent an entire week factoring this. Okay? All right.
So we're just basically adding on to what we
Yeah.
did last time. Okay.
And not very much. These are really the only 2 things we're adding on to.
Okay. And
Everything
then-
else will be, yeah. Well, and the graph itself. Okay. So which pair would give me 2? Mason.
1 and 1 and 2 and 4.
Okay, so I can match the 1 with the 2 and the 1 with the 4.
Or 1 and 2 is negative.
Yeah, so 2 plus 4 would give me 6. So which one needs to be negative? The 2.
Oh, because I have to subtract it from this.
Correct. So your intercept form would be f of x equals, we're writing another function, and then it'd be x plus 4 and x minus 2. Would it matter if you wrote x minus 2 and then x plus 4? No, that's the same thing.
What, you do the greatest common factor?
You do if there is one. This one didn't have one, so we're okay. If we had had a GCF, then we'd stick it out front. We'll do an example like that.
Sorry, I thought that was a 2-2, not bad.
All right. X-intercepts